What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Tom Aspinall understands why Jon Jones is scared to fight. While Tom Aspinall has been taking every opportunity he can to call Jon Jones out, he understands why the heavyweight champion doesn't want to fight him. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. During an appearance on Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson's YouTube channel, Aspinall revealed that he can't see things from Jones's point of view, but at the end of the day, all he cares about is getting his hands on undisputed gold.
In your honest opinion, when you look at Jon Jones, would you say it's a money thing or not wanting to fight you thing, or do you think it's a combination?
Well, I can tell you some stuff about the money situation, but I'm not sure I can say it on camera, so I will tell you that after. I think I'm a bad matchup for him, to be honest, and I think he knows it. I honestly can see Jon's point of view. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. It's just about the title for me.
Yep.
I just want the title, that's it.
Yep.
Does nothing else really matters. So, yeah, I get it completely. Get his point of view. Get what everybody's saying. Completely understand. I just want to prove I'm the best, that's all.
As Aspinall also revealed during the episode, this cat and mouse game that he's engaged in with Jones is the toughest test of his career, even tougher than his knee injury. I've been almost a year inactive with no prospects of anything apart from weight, so now it's a bit more of a tricky time for me mentally than it was then. Even people then were like, "Are you okay? How are you dealing with coming back?" and stuff like that. I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I've got this to look forward to. The doctor said I've got to do this in 2 weeks or in 2 months. I can start grappling." I constantly had little goals to work towards, whereas now it's just like, just be ready and we'll just let you know. It's kind of difficult mentally, but this is the fight against Jon Jones. The fight is another thing. This is the tricky bit where I really have to stay switched on, stay motivated, and I'm trying my best. It's tough sometimes. While the MMA world continues to speculate whether or not the fight will actually happen, Jones hinted that he would be coming back to the octagon after enjoying some much-needed downtime, contrary to what he told Kamil Gadzhiev earlier in the week when he said that he was done fighting. In a post on Instagram, Jones shared a video of an out-of-control dog getting humbled and put in its place by another dog that seemingly comes out of nowhere, writing, "What I feel like returning to the UFC after some much-needed downtime. With no updates from the UFC, we'll just have to wait and see what happens." Jon Jones responds to a fan's backlash. A fan called out Jon on social media by saying that he's ruining his legacy by not fighting Tom Aspinall. Jon responded to the fan and wrote, "Jon Jones, youngest champion in UFC history, most dominant, longest reigning, made millions, left the sport on his own terms, flipped that fight money into real business success. Became a great father, inspired people all over the world. Yeah, what a terrible legacy." Do you agree with Jon and think that regardless if the Tom Aspinall fight happens or not, his legacy is cemented? Or do you think that Jon needs to fight Tom in order to complete his near-perfect career? Let us know your thoughts down below. Ian Garry mocks Jack Della Maddalena with footage. Ian Garry posted a video on social media showing himself visiting a comic book shop where he claims that they are already selling action figures of JDM. The action figure he's referring to is from a character named Sloth in an old school movie called The Goonies. Here's the clip.
I'm in a comic book shop here in England and I am shocked. Never in my life have I seen the UFC move an action figure as fast as they have Jack Della Maddalena, mate. I am so proud of you. Look at that. World champ, and you've got your action figure. Good on you, pal. Very proud of you. Good job.
Does Sloth from The Goonies resemble JDM to you? Renato Moicano talks about Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena. Islam Makhachev may be getting ready to make his welterweight debut. However, the way Renato Moicano sees things, the odds for the inevitable fight between Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena should be pretty close to even. During an interview with Homa Fight, Money Moicano shared his thoughts on this fight, explaining why moving up in weight is something that should be done slowly.
I think they probably should be even, you know, because even though Islam is a good grappler and he's big for 155, he's moving to 170. We never know, you know. I think he needs to take some time to work on to gain weight, to gain power, you know, to gain strength. So that's why the odds are even, and I think they should be even.
During the interview, Moicano also joked about how after getting paid a flat purse for his short notice fight against Islam Makhachev, he's back to the show win system for his upcoming fight with Beneil Dariush. Because of that, Moicano said that he cannot afford to lose at UFC 317. Last fight, I could afford to lose because it was a short notice and I got a flat purse. But right now, I have to fight back to my double checks. I'm not losing. After opening up his own gym, Moicano also revealed that he has his sights set on something big once his Show Me the Money podcast hits 50,000 followers. We're going to record a podcast over there on this gym, and we're going to fly out 2 fans of the podcast to spar over here with me and Gilbert. No, I'm not taking it easy. I'm telling you, you're going to get over here and I'm going to knock your out, my brother. As Moicano joked after his upcoming fight, he wants an easy fight against a fighter like Michael Chandler or Paddy Pimblett. Joaquin Buckley reacts to Ian Garry backlash. Leading up to Ian Garry's fight with Carlos Prates, Joaquin Buckley attempted to crash the ceremonial weigh-ins. However, Ian Garry's wife cut him off, handing the future his son for a cute photo op on stage. As Garry's wife walked back to her seat, she came face to face with Buckley, who alleged on social media after the fact that Garry's wife told him she would see him later on in the night. In response to the backlash that he's received over the situation, Buckley defended himself during an interview with Parry Punch.
I seen all the comments that people making. A lot of people felt like it was disrespectful. A lot of people felt like it was mean. I'm like, look, a lot of people say keep the family out of it. But when you let your family be a part of the business, they're a part of the business. She is just as much as a part of the MMA business with the UFC as Ian Garry, bro. Because when you see Ian Garry, you see her. Almost like a manager, exactly. And don't get it twisted. A lot of decisions that he make is based off his girl.
As he went on to explain, Garry's wife has been very involved in his career, inspiring decisions like the one to put Jeff Neal's mugshot on a t-shirt. While Buckley had been angling for a fight with Garry, his sights are now set on getting through Kamaru Usman next month. Ahead of the fight, the streaking contender showed off his lethal spinning back kick in a video that's been going around online. With a win over Usman, Buckley is hoping to be next in line to fight the Makhachev JDM winner. Sean O'Malley's coach says Merab is the best bantamweight of all time. Heading into Sugar Sean O'Malley's first fight with Merab, his coach, Tim Welsh, was involved in a drawn-out back and forth with the machine that got pretty heated. Despite the bad blood between the two and the fact that Welsh will corner O'Malley against the champion in their June 7th rematch, he dubbed the machine the greatest bantamweight of all time while speaking in an interview with ESPN's Brett Okamoto this week. I don't really know how you debate that Merab's not the best of all time. Just look at his record. Has there ever been a bantamweight who's beaten that many champions in a row? I don't think there has. It's pretty easy to say that Merab is the best ever right now. Right now, Dvalishvili's 12-fight win streak puts him alongside fighters like Tony Ferguson and Alexander Volkanovski for the longest win streaks in UFC history. With a win over O'Malley at UFC 316, he'll find himself beside fighters like Khabib Nurmagomedov and Georges St. Pierre in the UFC's history books, behind only Kamaru Usman and Islam Makhachev, who both won 15 straight, and Anderson Silva, who holds the record for the longest winning streak with 16. Gene Silva calls out Ilia Topuria's mistakes. While Ilia Topuria has so far gone undefeated throughout his professional MMA career, rattling off 16 victories, Gene Silva believes that El Matador is actually a pretty predictable fighter who makes his fair share of mistakes. Ahead of Charles Oliveira's fight with the former featherweight champ on the International Fight Week card next month, Silva explained in a YouTube video how he's going to mimic Topuria's style for Do Bronx. You can clearly see when Topuria is setting up his right straight. He pulls his rear leg far back and hides it. His stance becomes very sideways. He throws a jab, takes a step back, his eyes look under his left arm. Then comes a small feint, some movement, and he fires the right straight. Even when he throws that right straight, it looks more like an overhand. He often drops his hand on the same side he slips his head toward. It's a reflex. Even when he doesn't slip deep, just moves his head slightly, his hand goes down. There are other moments where he forgets about defense entirely. When he got knocked down by Herbert, he threw a right overhand, then leaned back and threw a left hook, but he dropped his hand while throwing the hook. It was a very wide shot, and he got caught. I don't want to talk badly about Topuria. I just know I fight much better than he does. I can perfectly mimic him for Charles. While nobody's been able to successfully figure out the puzzle that is Ilia Topuria quite yet, it will be interesting to see if Silva's eye for detail helps Charles Oliveira pick up his big win next month. Jon Jones breaks silence on backlash for Islam Makhachev comments. While overseas in Thailand coaching opposite Nate Diaz on a Russian version of The Ultimate Fighter, Jon Jones was seen in a video stating that Islam Makhachev's a bit new to the sport and still has a way to go. Taken out of context, the clip makes it look like Jones is the one bashing Makhachev, when in reality, he was trying to explain what Nate Diaz was saying to the show's host. During an interview with Red Corner MMA, Jones broke his silence on the situation, explaining his side of the story.
I feel like the comment that I made a lot of people upset, a lot of Islam fans upset, but really what I was trying to do is I was trying to translate for Nate to the Russians. Nate speak speaks in a very laid-back way. He speaks with a lot of slang, and if you're not American, it may be hard to understand what he was saying. So I was really just trying to translate for Diaz. But at the same time, me saying that Islam is an up-and-coming fighter, when it's coming from me, I can say that. Not many people can say that. I can.
As Jones went on to joke, considering that he's been with the UFC since 2008 and has racked up the title defenses throughout his career, he can joke about pretty much anyone in the sport being new compared to him. Muhammad Mokaev details plan back to the UFC. While Dana White and the UFC may have no plans of bringing back Muhammad Mokaev, the former flyweight contender has not given up hope. During an interview with Bloody Elbow ahead of his 971 FC2 fight with Alisher Gabdullan, Mokaev stated that with what he described as a quote, spectacular finish, he hopes he's back on the UFC's roster. I believe I just need to put in a striking performance and win by spectacular finish, and people have already started talking about how I need to come back to the UFC. Of course, my dream is to become the best in the world. While at the time of his release from the UFC, Dana White hinted that Mokaev could be headed to the PFL, the undefeated contender explained in an interview with MMA Fighting this week that prior to Kyoji Horiguchi re-signing with the UFC, the two were in talks to fight one another in the Smart Cage. Despite that, he's hesitant to sign with the PFL because at the end of the day, his sights are still set on a return to the Octagon. PFL said they're willing to the open flyweight tournament if I join them. They've been good to me, to be honest. They said, whatever you want, you're welcome. But I just don't want to stuck in the contract. That's the problem. I respect all organizations, but I just don't want to get stuck in any contract. I understand from the company side too. They invest in you. They put everything promoting you, and then you just say, thank you for letting me use you. I'm going. They know what my goal exactly, and I'm not lying to anyone. With a win in Dubai on the 14th, it'll be interesting to see if the UFC considers bringing Mokaev back. Khamzat and Dricus du Plessis go back and forth. Well, it looks like the feud between Khamzat and DDP continues. Yesterday, Khamzat tweeted out a picture of DDP's team on X and captioned it with a bunch of donuts and laughing emojis. And before we continue, we have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day. DDP saw the tweet and fired back with the following response. Oh, would get you, but there's no emoji. Then DDP decided to fire back at Khamzat's fans, and let's just say DDP is one funny dude. One Khamzat supporter wrote, at least he knows who his father is, to which DDP fired back with, yes, his older brother probably. Then another fan called out DDP for kissing his coach and accused him of doing things with his coach behind closed doors, to which DDP fired back with, but at least not my relatives. Let's just say the build up to this fight is going to be insane. Who do you guys see winning this fight? While we're on the topic of the fight for UFC 319, Jack Della Maddalena gave his official prediction for the Khamzat DDP fight. This is what he had to say.
That's a tough one. I think a lot of people are counting out Dricus, and in the past, a lot of people count him out, but he always seems to show up. I think Dricus will win.
Woo! And we've got strong. When you're in the corners,